Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us for our Friday weather update and weekend update, recorded on Friday the 21st of June, the winter solstice, which was at precisely 8:50 in the morning. And basically, it means today's the shortest day, the day with the least amount of available sunlight, and the weekend is going to have some pretty long nights. But as we go into the weekend and into next week, the days start to get longer again. So if you're looking forward to summer, the days get longer from this weekend right through until just before Christmas time. So there you go, that's a positive twist. For those of you who don't like winter, the downside is that the coldest weather usually kicks off about now. And we are seeing some of the long-range maps for July showing quite an unsettled weather pattern in the New Zealand area, not too dissimilar to what we've got at the moment with low pressure, but potentially some colder southerlies. It's not locked in yet, but we might talk about that a little bit more on Monday or Tuesday next week. So at the moment, high pressure is out to the east. That is holding up the low we've had now for 8-9 days. This weekend, it comes in and across the country, but between now and then, you got this milder, well, actually wait, I've got to be careful with the word milder. We've got this northeasterly flow, which is making some places milder at night because it's a little windy and cloudy, but the daytime temperatures are certainly feeling that cooler airflow because while it might be an east to northeasterly, the origins of it coming from the Southern Ocean. And so that's the reason why, even up at the top of the country, it's feeling a bit colder at the moment. So here's how it looks midnight tonight, early hours of Saturday morning. There is the low and the broken up rain bands. I'm going to animate the weekend now, and you'll be able to see that rainfall moving in towards the country, moving across the South Island, the North Island, by midnight Sunday, going into the early hours here on Monday morning. And this is all the low pressure zone, so that's all going to track across the country early next week. So we've still got some unsettled weather to go through, but there is a little bit of high pressure coming in behind all of that. You can see it just here on the map over Australia on Saturday. So kind of repeating what I just said, high pressure out here to the east, dredging in this colder airflow, that's the blue line. But as the low moves in, there's a northerly flow to northwesterly that will kick in, and that pushes that blue line further out to sea. In other words, temperatures lift up a little bit around the South Island. Still got some very cold starts, some frosts around, and in the North Island certainly some colder mornings with the clouds breaking up a bit more, but there's still that line of rain coming into the top of the South Island, the west coast, and affecting the far north. A couple of showers maybe around Bay of Plenty as well. On Sunday, that's when the rain band properly comes in. Now, for those of you using our new app, the Weather Watch app, if you're looking under the trends area, and it's the same on the Rural Weather website, you can see basically the beginning, the peak, and the end for the incoming rain band. Some of these models and maps look a little bit confusing to some of you and even to us as forecasters. So that's the way to kind of make sense of it. Take a look at the trends we've got, and it shows you when the rain starts, peaks, and eases back. So you can see here there is certainly some rain around, and the green dots mean there's some instability. So there'll be some heavy downpours in the mix, maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two. What it means is, like what we've had over the last week, some areas of rain could be stuck in one spot and go and break your rain forecast. It, blows the totals away, and you end up with a decent downpour. So Met Service will be tracking any severe thunderstorms. And fun fact, a severe thunderstorm, believe it or not, doesn't always have to have actual thunder in it. It's more about the giant cloud that's formed and producing the enormous downpour. The Auckland anniversary floods last year, they were created by a severe thunderstorm, and from my recollection, there was no thunder. It was just a massive downpour. So I'm not saying it's a repeat of that, but just those kind of downpours moving through sometimes can be a severe thunderstorm, and they are usually what breaks most rain forecasts when it says 2-3 millimeters and you end up with 58, and you think, how on earth did they get that wrong? But it's because these things form out of thin air and they just suddenly develop when you've got low pressure like this around. There's also some rain feeding in here to Canterbury. It's a double good bit of news there because they need the rain, the farmers do, and those relying on rainwater, but it also produces some snow for the ski fields as well because it should be fairly cold as that comes on in. And by Tuesday, this is low pressure out to the east. It's still somewhat around New Zealand, but we do expect a westerly change to kick in around the country next week, and you'll start to notice that maybe a little bit more around Thursday as the high up here starts to move along. That will produce a northwesterly that should be much more warmer than what you're seeing here on Wednesday, because the low offshore here kind of grows again. It's still the same low, by the way, that we've had for a couple of weeks at this point, pushes back and drives in some showers and colder airflows into New Zealand. So that's a pretty cold southwesterly by the looks of it next Wednesday with this block of high pressure. Expect frosty weather also around the South Island. Let's take a quick look at the rainfall for the next 7 days. This could still change. I know I keep saying that, but that is the nature of a large low. Very unpredictable. And so at the moment, the computers are doing as well as they can with a system like this one, trying to pick where the heaviest rain will be. But of course, with the next computer update, modelling update, it might move heavy rain like that, where you've got the potential of over 100 millimetres, and some areas here potentially getting up to 80 to 100 millimetres. That could move around a bit still. And so that's why you've got to keep up with those trend graphs we've got on our website. The rain trends, fairly dry at this stage for Hawke's Bay, fairly dry around parts of the west coast like Greymouth area and inland, but the driest part of the country will be central Otago and our lovely friends in Invercargill. That is all from me. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend. Look forward to seeing you on Monday. Well, really, you'll see me, but you know what I mean. Have a good one.